All right, so I finally just finished my playthrough of Sonic Rush, and I kind of want to talk about it a little bit. This is my first time playing a DS game for like 5 years. I think in 2020 I played Mario 3D Land, so if you can even count that as a DS game, since that's technically a 3DS game. So I don't know the last time I played a DS game. It might be over 10 years, and I just had a great time with this. And it's funny how I ended up playing this game because this wasn't my first choice of a DS game. As I went to pick up my DS, it was actually like number six, and my top choices one through five, somehow I lost like the cartridges for them. So I was pretty bummed out by that. I ended up playing this game and I had a blast. And I'm not very nostalgic for this game either. It's really funny how I always think it's so funny how this came into my possession because back in the day on I think it was WB Kids Saturday morning cartoons. I used to watch Sonic X. And my sister entered like a contest. I didn't know she did this. Like in the commercials, there were contests, and it was like I don't know. You just go online to the website and submit your email to enter. And she won like second or third place, which included a copy of like Sonic Rush on DS and maybe a plush or something. I don't know. I think she kept the plush, but she gave me the game. So I never actually wanted the game. And as I loaded up this game, I looked at my old save file and I completed just only stage one as Sonic. So I didn't even play this game at all. And it's funny because like I consider myself a Sonic fan, right? Like I have like Sonic X on Blu-ray. I haven't actually watched it yet. I remember as a kid watching just some episodes, never in order, but I definitely want to watch through this eventually. This is one of my shows that I'm gonna either watch, and if I don't watch it in time, I'll watch it with my kids. So definitely looking forward to watching this. I know I've watched like the first episode, and it just brings back so much nostalgia. But I also like the movies, the live action movies. I have them all in 4K, including the Knuckles show. I really like what they're doing with the live action stuff. It's very approachable and very fun. And even like in my reading hobbies, I like to do a little bit of reading, mostly manga and comic books. I kind of switch between those. So I'm actually reading the IDW Sonic series. I finished volume one, and I haven't started volume two yet. But I'm taking a little break because I wanted to read a Dragon Ball manga, one shot. That time I got reincarnated as Yamcha. It's fine, just a little silly one shot manga before I continue reading the rest of the IDW, at least getting caught up to date on these hardcover copies. So yeah, you see that stuff and you're like, okay, this guy has Sonic X on Blu-ray. Well, it's standard definition on Blu-ray, but he has the complete series of Sonic X. He's reading like the Sonic comics. He's playing Sonic Rush in 2025. He must be like this massive Sonic fan, and it's just like funny because like I featured this game on one of my videos. It's my best performing video on the channel of how like people should play irrelevant games and like change the gaming culture of always wanting to like play like the hottest stuff on new releases and all of that, and just like you should just play irrelevant games and just have fun. And I truly didn't think anyone was playing Sonic Rush. Like, I truly didn't think anyone was playing Sonic Rush. And you guys in the comments were quick to correct me. They're like, some people were like, he can't be serious. Like, this has to be bait. Sonic Rush is popping off right now. And, like, I did not know that. And I don't know. I think it's just because of just, like, the internet right now. It's like all of the stuff, like, I don't know, on YouTube, on Reddit, on Twitter, everything is just, like, curated to you algorithmically, and I don't follow Sonic stuff online. And I think like one of those modern like culture things is like I don't know, I see this a lot on like I'm not in a Sonic subreddit. I'm in other subreddits. I don't know, like Gears of War, Linkin Park, for example, a Dragon Ball Z. And I see people like I don't like interact that much on Reddit. I see people posting every day and like the word fandom get thrown around, and it's just like I hate that word fandom and like that fandom like idea that's like, oh, if you want to be a fan of Sonic, you have to consume Sonic daily. You have to be part of the subreddit. You have to consume the content, play the games, you have to be part of the fandom or you're not really a fan. And I don't consume Sonic daily. In fact, I don't think I've beaten a single Sonic game. Swear to God, I don't think I beat a single Sonic game except for maybe Sonic Generations on Xbox 360. I had to think real long and hard about that. Like, and I don't know what it is about Sonic. It's like one of my favorite IPs that like I haven't beaten any games, which is so out of character out of character me because like I beat my games, and for some reason the Sonic franchise just like I haven't just historically, and I think it comes down. I guess for my generation, I didn't grow up with a Genesis, so I was an N64 GameCube kid, and I think maybe for like people who are in like my generation, I think like Sonic Adventure 2, dude, that first level, City Escape, with the song and that level, the song, rolling around at the speed of sound, got places to go, gotta follow my rainbow. It's so good. That level is so good. I think it made just so many people fans for life. And I don't think I ever finished the game. I think I got far in it. In Sonic Adventure 1 DX on GameCube, I think I got far in that too. Maybe I completed Sonic's level, but these games where there's multiple characters, I personally feel like I didn't beat it unless I beat all the characters of the game. And so, yeah, like going into this, like I was like, I want to beat this game. I want to beat a Sonic game. Like I want to revisit every Sonic game that I've ever played and beat them. But I'm not good at Sonic. I've probably am closer to beating the 3D ones than I am the 2D ones. Like the Genesis ones, whenever I spin those up, I'm not good at Sonic. Okay, and this is no exception. In the comments, I was talking to people like, for me, like, people are talking about how they're speed running this game and everything, and it's just like, that's awesome that people can do that, and like I love to hear that. And I'm jealous of people who have that dedication. For me, it's like C's get degrees. Like I gotta start somewhere. Like I said, I have not beaten many Sonic games, so for this playthrough, if I got a B or a C, which I did many times, I enjoyed it. I had fun. The beginning of the game, I went into this thinking like, oh, I could play this with 10 minutes of time. I don't really get a whole lot of time to game, like 15, 30, 45 minutes, like a day, or like, even, or a session. Like it's hard for me to play even for an hour straight without getting interrupted, which is like real life stuff. And when I started this game, it was like 10-minute sessions, and I had a lot of fun. And I was just like happy I was able to game and make use of those 10-minute sessions. Um, but like, I don't know, like I said, I'm not that good at Sonic games, and like something I've always like that's been hard to click with me when I play with the original one on Genesis. You can blast through that first level, a Green Hill Zone, just going straight, going fast, and like you can't really fall off. And I'm always able to beat that one. But then the next one, the water one, I feel like you have to slow down, or I'm just like bad. Okay, so like I have to slow down, and so like that's how it was in this one. Like I was kind of going slow, really focusing on collecting rings. You collect 100 rings, you get a life. A one up or a life or whatever. And so pretty much at the game, I was always kind of going like slow almost, even though it's a Sonic game, you're supposed to go fast, but I'm not getting A's, I'm not getting S's on these levels. And everything went pretty smooth until like Sonic Stage 4, Level 2. There was definitely a part that was almost, I guess I want to say frustrating, but there was like this one jump, and like you can't get high enough, and like I was really only playing the game with the two buttons, like just pretty much just the jump button, honestly, and then like holding down like jump to like do like the spin ball thing that's in like a lot of Sonic games. Or like the rush mechanic where you press like Y to use the rush. Like I didn't even know about that for a while. And so like if you press like the R button, you can do tricks. It must be somewhere in the manual like that you're able to do that, because these old games, like it's not like new games. I'm so used to modern games where they tutorial you everything and really teach you how to play within the game. So there must be something like within the manual. I should have checked before the video. But like, yeah, the gameplay, the controls, yeah, it's right here. It says right here, hop jump. It says here to press up and the R to perform a vertical hop. So back then you kind of had to look at the manuals, and then they're not bogging you down with just tutorial stuff in the game. So I actually kind of appreciate that. And I didn't look at the manual, and the game didn't tutorial me through the way it kind of expects you to like check out the manual and like learn how to play. And so I didn't know about that move. So like, it's 2025, and I Googled it, and on YouTube, it's so much easier than back in the day. Like when this came out, you'd have to look up like text guides on like GameSpot.com. At least that's where I did. Maybe there was like game FAQs or whatever. And so, I saw like a video that like saw like, oh, you press the R button to do a trick and you can get a little extra air. So like without that, if there was no guide, I probably would have been stuck and hit a wall, because I'm stupid, I guess. I'm not that great at Sonic games. And I got pretty far in Sonic. I think I got to like World 7 or Stage 7. And I was like, how do you get a Chaos Emerald? Like I know there's always special stages to get the Chaos Emeralds, but I didn't know how to trigger them. In the older Sonic games, like on Genesis, you needed to get like 50 or 100 rings and hit a checkpoint, or like at the very end of the stage, there would be like the special stage gate, and I never saw that. But I also never knew what those little spinny wheel things were on the level, and Again, maybe that's in the manual. But yeah, you use like the rush button, and that's how I learned about the rush button. Is I googled like how to like get the chaos emeralds. And I was like, oh, like that's like, I'm like, man, I feel so stupid right now. But even after learning about the rush button, I didn't use it that much because I'm not that good, and I wanted to go slower to make sure I get 100 rings to get more lives for the boss battles. And that I was just still having fun with it. So like you can tell me I'm playing Sonic wrong or incorrect or not like the best way. I'm absolutely a noob, but the important thing is I was having fun with it, right? And so like I think like my first special stage was like stage 7, and like on my 3DS, like I 3DS was kind of where I kind of fell out of gaming for a little bit. So I haven't really used it that much. Like I don't have a screen protector on my touchscreen because I never really played a touchscreen game on this thing. I didn't really use that much. I must have sold my DS Lite for a 3DS and just never put a screen protector on it. And now it's just like you can't just buy like a 3DS without it being used. So since this is in like incredible condition and it's mine, I was like, I gotta buy some screen protectors so I can continue to explore the DS library and not be afraid of touchscreen games. And so I did one. I avoided it, but again, after beating the game, it sounds like that those special stages, at least special stage 7, is extremely hard. And so I've seen people talk about like a pause trick or something, and I didn't do all of the special stages and get the Chaos Emerald, so I know I didn't get the true ending. But you know, I gotta start somewhere, right? I just talked about in the beginning of the video. I don't think I really beat any Sonic game besides Sonic Generations on the 360. So I rolled credits for Sonic. I rolled credits for Blaze. I'm very happy with that I made that kind of progress, and I think I'm good to move on from this. I had a great time with it. I love on the 3DS actually that they have the your play logs. So I was just looking at it. My play log. 1 second. Yeah, the activity log is one so much better than on the Switch, honestly. Because this actually tells how many times you've played the game. So if I go to my software library, don't have many games. Sonic Rush. So my total playtime was 6 hours and 19 minutes. Again, this is just utilizing what I think is going to be like a 10-minute block of time over the course of over a month. I first played November 12th, 2025, and I just beat this at the recording of this video, December 23, 2025. I played 20 times, and my average playtime was 18 minutes. So it was a little more than 10 minutes because the game got harder towards the end. And that's why it probably took me longer. It took me like, over a month or about a month and a half to actually beat this game, because when I, got to like the last stage and then the last boss fight, they were really hard. And especially the first time I did the last boss fight, like the last boss in this game was really difficult. And so I just wanted to like make sure like I had to sit down and focus and lock in a little bit, which completely goes against the 10-minute block of time type of thing. And so it was hard to be like, now I actually this is graduating out of the 10-minute block of time, and yeah, I have to sit down, focus, lock in, and it's not easy to just pause. But yeah, that last boss was really tricky. I almost wanted to give up on that last boss a few times, but I was just like, I beat Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers earlier this year, or Souls like, and I was able to grind like 3 hours per boss over and over and over again. I'm like, I'm able to beat this, and I was very pleasantly surprised that it's like all the bosses have like 8 pellets, like life pellets that you have to knock down, and I was very like relieved. Like I was sweating. My coin management was better. My ring management. Like I don't know if this is how other people do, because like I said, I'm not part of the fandom, so I don't really look up strategies or videos, or I'm also just bad. So like on the bosses, like there's like rings out there. I'm always trying to grab like only one ring at a time, because when you get knocked back, you lose it. And like the longer I can hold on to that ring, the longer I could stay alive and take more hits and mistakes. And like I was doing really good on my ring management, right? And then like he knocked me back like into rings, and like it gobbled them all up, and I had like no rings left. He had 2 lives left. I kept going. I got it. I hit him, and like I was like so pleasantly surprised that they just like give you the win. Like it goes into some like little cutscene or whatever, and like you just get like a free shot at the end. So like I really like that a lot. I saw like stuff again, like just kind of read online, like after like beating the game, people saying that the bosses were actually like really hard in the worst part of the game, that like the hitboxes were bad. I completely disagree with it. Maybe it's because I'm an older gamer, so I'm used to these kind of games. I thought the bosses are actually pretty easy besides the last one. The hitboxes made complete sense to me. uh Blaze, I actually thought was easier. I read that like some people thought Blaze was harder levels than Sonic. I thought Blaze were easier, but maybe that had a lot to do with I was, playing the levels for a second time, doing all the bosses for the second time. Like I beat the final boss on my second try with Blaze. I almost would have beat it the first time. I just had a huge blunder. Um, and yeah, so I know I didn't get the true ending. I'm not one to go on YouTube and actually watch the true ending. I would still rather experience it myself. That's kind of maybe why I avoid a lot of fandoms and like content on like Reddit and Twitter. Like I don't want to see the ending. I kind of want to like leave this out on a good note. Um, because I see like maybe one of the special stages, like Special Stage 7, is actually like really frustrating and considered one of the hardest special stages in the Sonic franchise. So like I don't really want to do that right now and leave this on a bad note. I kind of want to continue to explore the DS library. I'm fulfilled. I'm ready to move on. And not having 100% this game kind of leaves it there for good replayability in the future. Eventually, like because like I want to I don't know if I'm gonna do it right away, play Sonic Rush Adventure, and I hear that Sonic Colors on the DS is like the spiritual successor to these two. So that means like the console Sonic Colors and the DS Sonic Colors are like two completely different games, two completely worthwhile experiences to experience. So eventually I'll probably get nostalgic for Sonic Rush and want to play it again as I continue exploring the Sonic franchise, actually trying to like finish the games, maybe just naturally get better at Sonic games. And then like as I get better, come back to this game and maybe I can play the game just like quote unquote better where I like, all right, I'm going to try to like get B's or A's on the level. Or I'm just going to try to get the Chaos Emeralds and finish the final stage and, get the true ending. So I kind of like doing, I'm kind of going to leave it at that, leave it as something that I can look at on the shelf, and it's not just like this game that's never going to get revisited. Like, kind of just leave that planted out there in just like my Sonic backlog. It's like I can revisit that game because it's short and sweet, right? It took me so long because I just played it like very sporadically, but in the future I will have more time, and like maybe it will be worthy of a marathon, or just sit down and just grind it out one day or something. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. And it makes me want to continue exploring, especially not just the DS library but the Sonic franchise in general. And so definitely in 2026 I definitely want to at least play one more, like another Sonic game in 2026, maybe more, but like definitely at least one. Like I definitely don't want to like let this series just fall behind, especially as I'm reading like the comics and stuff, and another Sonic movie's coming out I think in like 2027. So it is a great time to just like continue experience Sonic. In retrospect, I do feel like a fool saying that like no one's probably playing this one. It's like, oh wait, Sonic is actually a pretty popular IP. Someone's probably playing all the Sonic games, like duh. But yeah, I don't know. At the time, like I said, all of our algorithms are different, right? So I'm not served Sonic content, like, and so I just this was out of sight, out of mind for me. And yeah, I guess maybe we all make that mistake too, right? Thinking that like we all live in our bubbles, right? So Sonic Rush, great game, especially what it represents for me. And like I said, that video did really well. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm a simple person. I see Sonic Rush, I click on it." That makes me laugh every time I read those comments. Like multiple people left those comments. I think it's really funny. And like, not only do I have like that, like connection with this game of how I obtained it through that like contest, which was like a really weird way for me to obtain a game. Now, like years later, like decades later, I have a new connection with the game that like it literally doubled the size of my channel and got me into level 1 YouTube partnership. I credit this game absolutely. And so like it brings me a lot of joy, like as I was playing it, like even before I made that video I was already playing it, already enjoying it. Then after that it's like, man, like Sonic Rush, like this game is just like it's got layers to it for me in my own personal lore. And it's fun and I love it. And now as I look at it on my shelf with my other like physical DS games, I'm just going to be like, yo, Sonic Rush, that's awesome. So let me know down in the comments, like, how do you feel about fandoms in general? Am I a Sonic fan, or am I like a poser? Am I just a noob? Do I have a ways to go, or is that just like should more people be like that, where they can just like be a fan of something, but don't have to be like completely like make it their lives and make it their identity? Because like I think that's ridiculous. You can be fans of a lot of things, and like you only have so much time and energy. Like you don't have to be spending every day, every waking moment, just like consuming content of something that just to be a fan. Or am I just like a dinosaur? Am I wrong about that and I'm just a casual and like I'm like a fake fan or something? I don't know. I had fun with Sonic Rush, and I look forward to playing another Sonic game. Probably won't play one right away. I've other DS games on the shelf that are tempting me, and so, but yeah, definitely plan on playing at least one more Sonic game in 2026. Let me know in the comments your favorite memory of Sonic Rush, or what you think about the game. And if you're watching this video, you probably like Sonic Rush. If you made it this far, hit like, subscribe. It helps so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.